Welcome back, you sick, twisted freaks. Welcome back to Tactical Hyve. And today I am with my good friend, Dave. And we are in an undisclosed location in a bunker unknown to you and everywhere else. So we're going to talk about a subject that's near and dear to both of our hearts. And it's the unsung heroes.
Yes.
So enjoy the intro music. Come on back and we'll talk about it.
Hi guys, we'd like to thank today's sponsor, Dry Fire Mag, for providing this video to you guys. They make an incredible piece of equipment that goes inside of your magazine well that allows your trigger to reset while you're doing dry fire training. So no more having to tap rack and bang the slide. You can just worry about the sights and trigger and drive on with your training. So if you have tried them or have a need to try them, give them a look down in the description below and go from there. But thanks to Dry Fire Mag for this video.
All right, welcome back. And today, Dave and I are going to talk to you about the unsung heroes. And so we talk a lot of smack about ourselves, stuff on our chest, big, full of hubris, blah, blah, blah. But we don't ever want you to think that we don't know what happens behind the scenes.
100%.
Almost everywhere we came from and where we graduated to, the teeth is infinitely much smaller than the tail.
True story.
It takes a whole lot of folks to make it happen. I was just telling a story today where I did training targets in downtown Fayetteville, North Carolina. We would drive to the target, execute the target, and drive away. We didn't set up the target. We didn't clean up the target. We didn't have any interaction with anybody around the target. We just did what we needed to do and go. Now, if you live in that world, you're a little jaded, right? And even the Ranger community, oftentimes you could do something like that and just come on back and somebody else would take care of it. And so we want to talk about some of those folks that made life easier for us.
Yes. Just stateside house, just in terms of just growing up through that community.
Yep.
The guy that never gets credit, that poor dude with the 60 millimeter mortar base plate strapped to his rucksack.
Well put. So unsung heroes within ourselves, actually, right?
Right.
Young kid carrying the base.
That young kid carrying a base plate.
Oh, what else did we jump? We jumped Carl G's, the machine gunners, and those kids that are jumping and ruck marching. How many rounds of ammunition is the ammo bearer?
Yeah, right? The javelins. Before then was the
javelin.
Yeah, the AT4.
Yeah, man, jumping that thing.
The mini bike bundles, getting a mini bike bundle out the door.
True story.
What has to happen for that bike bundle to show up so you could throw it out the bird so you could get on it and make sure FLS is cool?
Yeah, so here's to those young men that do that. Here's the ones that carry the heavy loads. And here's to the, so when you mentioned the aerial delivery, so here's to the aerial delivery guys. Did you ever pack a parachute when you were a Ranger? Nope, me neither. So we didn't pack parachutes when I was a Ranger. So thanks to the riggers, right? Thanks to the aerial delivery guys, whether it's Rangers or the guys that helped you make those bundles for the motorcycles and the four-wheelers. Did you guys do some of those?
We did.
Yep. So, boom, that's your first thanks. Thanks to those guys.
Overseas, I'm telling you right now, the moment I see D-Cell show up, D-Cell is the deployment cell, the 24th Special Operations Wing of the Air Force. And they make life nice.
And transparent to most of the Rangers, right? Somebody just says, because you have your own little bubble to live in, and then somebody says, usually somebody like Dave, senior non-commissioned officer, says, go get yourself some chow at the D-Cell.
Yeah.
And it became this extraordinarily nice chow hall is what it became, right?
Oh, they did everything for us. They built our shoes. They put up, the bathhouses, the laundry would get done. If you weren't getting KBR support, it was going through D-Cell.
And the shoes, you mentioned just now shoes.
Yeah.
What is that?
Self-contained housing units. Little Ranger private. Think about like a modular prison. You could take it, put it anywhere.
What about a sprung?
Yeah.
Would they set up sprungs too?
Yeah, they did. They set up the sprung, especially for all of our, all of our like large supply stuff, our aviation assets and stuff like that.
A lot of times what happens is that you like a D-Cell, and God bless them, they make your life much easier by making a warm base into a hot base.
Yeah.
What you live from, what Dave and I lived from, as we did day-to-day operations, was a mission support site. And someone has to create that. Somebody has to show up with the chews, or show up with the sprungs, or show up with the, well, I don't even know what else, the chow halls, the mobile chow halls, and somebody has to do that.
I just know when those cats show up, mid-rats are coming. Life is about to get a lot better.
And he's talking about mid-rats. So everybody, of course, had breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But yeah, when the decel came, it was mid-rats too. So you could go there at what, 11 o'clock at night?
Anytime you want.
Yeah, whatever time window was, it was late. And you could get some cereal. You could get, and it wasn't always hot food then too. There was a certain amount of hot food, I think, right? And then in my experience, but you could get stable items.
There's always sandwiches.
Shelf stable items and stuff.
There's always sandwiches. But remember how like they used to, it was almost weird, like diplomats would take on their own theme based on what was available for mid-rats. And I always say that because we had 2 deployments back to back where it became the Dove deployments. Because we're eating Dove ice cream bars during SSC.
Dove bars.
But that's the part that stuck with us. And we wouldn't have that if it was not for decel.
How about that? Yeah. So God bless decel. That's on the list. So we both would travel somewhere to do a job. What was that job based upon? A high-value target or some bomb maker or some bad guy, right? How do we get that information? Intel.
Targeting guys.
Yeah, the targeting people, the intel. So, way behind the scenes, these great folks are doing intel. It's like, if you haven't seen Zero Dark 30, then you know exactly. If you have seen it, then you know exactly what I mean. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I mean, it's not a bad, look, from my perspective, it's not a bad movie at all on how one person at her drive, at her passion really to go after bin Laden was constantly fueling all this stuff, what she did, right? She just went through all these hoops and whatnot and traveled over these obstacles to get people to pay attention to the right people that they needed to guide their way towards the target of Mr. bin Laden. So, yeah, Intel, man. God bless you. Cheers to Intel and the interrogators, the interpreters. You have to have those people to do the job because I don't know if you've noticed, but Dave and I are pretty big white guys. We don't blend in
anywhere.
And we don't know any other languages other than America.
I blend in Boston.
Exactly. Right? We can blend in Norway, maybe. We can blend in Germany, maybe. But yeah, not Southwest Asia. So you always have to have good help for those important missions where we need interpreters, interrogators, and we need intel, right?
Yep.
And hopefully the intel is good. It doesn't lead us to a dead end or a dry hole. It leads us to something good.
Air assets. Not just the guys flying the birds and getting us to where we need to be. All the work that goes behind that. And here you are overseas and you've got a plate full of food to eat. You only have so many mouths to eat this food. You only have so much material to support those mouths eating that food. And so it goes this big shell game on who's getting this material support for what.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are going after AMZ. Well, you're going to get everything we have and need. You guys we don't have much going on for the day, so we're not getting any air assets probably ever, right?
Not true. But
the air asset guys, those guys sitting in the JAM meeting, JAM's the Joint Air Allocation meeting. Those guys that go in there and they fight for that Pacific assault element.
Yep.
And say, hey, here's what we're working on. Here's what we need in order to execute this. Like those are the guys when all those birds show up and you're like, whew, I got to walk. It's because of that guy.
Yeah, so cheers to those cats. Cheers to their assets and the folks that allow us to be able to walk into target with a Predator drone and walk out of target with an AC-130.
100%,
right?
Yes.
Bad to the bone.
Yep.
Another group of folks that, will, like, again, we came from the same tribes, the special operations world, right? We lived in that circle, that tribe, that bubble. But there was a whole bunch of hardworking dudes who weren't special operations.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it was Task Force Falcon 325 North, whether it was the 101 guys down in the South, and then myriads of people all throughout,
Task Force Rock.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the bulk of what gets the work done are regular soldiers, not special operations. The guys that do a bulk of the really hard work, and under conditions, mind you, that probably weren't as good as ours, and they have a very interesting ROE. And I would tell you that I think the ROE is about the same. That's rules of engagement. But their leadership was harder to articulate to their men the rules of engagement. We saw it with the Marines a whole lot out west. So
I agree completely. I think it was on multiple occasions was a good gut check. You know, sometimes you get the feeling sorry for yourself as nature. You know, you're like, this sucks, whatever.
True.
And then you go to some cob somewhere and you're waiting for a trigger to be met, and you're sitting with guys from one of these units, and this is their life for 18 months. This is their life.
Combat outpost.
Yeah, and you're like, my life suddenly is not so bad. I need to quit being a little bitch.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was like China Beach.
Yeah,
to me.
Yeah,
it was. You'd work hard, you'd work really hard, and then you'd end up coming back to a place where you had all the food you needed, the water you needed. Sometimes you got protein supplements you needed. Sometimes you got a decent gym. It wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, not bad. I don't think we could probably handle all the unsung heroes. We can't cover all of them.
No, we covered like 5 cavalry. There's so many more, right? There's so many more dudes out there, and men and women both, making a great sacrifice, right? Leaving their families, working hard out there, and then doing the job.
So, yeah, for jobs they don't get the credit for.
No, they don't.
They really don't.
Hats off.
Yes, sir.
To all you out there supporting the teeth.
Yep. Hey guys, if you like content like this, you want to see more of it, you have an idea for newer content you haven't seen,
right?
Yeah, let us know. Comment down below. Let us know. We read those comments. You know, so hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share it, and let us know how you feel about it or what you'd like to see in the future. But you got anything else?
That's it, brother. Appreciate everything.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right. Dave out.